We have some breaking news coming in at this point of time. The Indian Railways is to resume passenger railway operations from May 12th. 15 trains including return journeys to operate initially. These trains will operate from New Delhi to other states. Booking for these trains will start at 4 p.m. from tomorrow, that is May 11th. Booking will be online on IRCTC website, and it will be mandatory for passengers to wear face mask while they are boarding the train. All passengers will also undergo screening before they board, and only asymptomatic people or people who are not showing any sort of symptoms related to COVID-19 will be allowed to travel and board the trains. For more on this, I'm being joined by my colleague Adarsh live from the newsroom. Adarsh, what more can you bring us on this?
So now in the latest, as per the Press Information Bureau, Government of India, you have a notification that has come out, and it clearly states that the Indian Railways will begin operations from the 12th of May, that is the day after tomorrow, and reservations can be made starting tomorrow, that is the 11th of May, post 4 p.m. And all of these reservations can only be made on the IRCTC official website. The ticket counters at railway stations across the country will be closed, and we're talking about how 15 pairs of trains will be running, a total of 30 return journeys, that is, and in fact these trains will be connecting 15 most important destinations, 15 most important cities across the country, and they in fact start from the New Delhi railway station, and they connect Dibrugarh in Assam, Agartala, Howrah, Patna, Bilaspur, Ranchi, Bhubaneswar, Secunderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Thiruvananthapuram, Madgaon, Mumbai Central, Ahmedabad and Jammu Tawi. So these are the destinations that the trains will connect, which will in a sense start from the New Delhi railway station. For the benefit of the viewers, once again, the trains that will start from New Delhi will be connecting stations Dibrugarh, Agartala, Howrah, Patna, Bilaspur, Ranchi, Bhubaneswar, Secunderabad, Bengaluru, Chennai, Thiruvananthapuram, Madgaon, Mumbai Central, Ahmedabad and Jammu Tawi. Now this is in a sense phase one, and eventually over a period more trains will be given out. So far it's only 15 trains, and yes, the Indian Railways also has a task of ensuring that enough trains are provided for the Shramik Express, the Shramik trains to carry migrant workers from point A to point B. We're also talking about how as many as 20,000 coaches have been converted into COVID-19 coaches, and these coaches are present across the country. So the Indian Railways priority of course is Shramik trains and the COVID-19 wards, the coaches that have been converted into COVID-19 wards. So apart from these two elements, whatever remaining trains that they can ensure are plying on the tracks, they will be able to do that, but it will only happen eventually. As of this point in time, we're speaking about how 15 pairs of trains will run, and yes, it's only the passengers with confirmed and valid tickets who will be allowed to enter the New Delhi railway station, and it's only the air-conditioned trains that we're talking about, and those who do not have tickets will not be allowed to enter. And yes, anybody who's entering the New Delhi railway station to board their train will obviously be checked thoroughly, and if there are found any symptoms in these passengers, then they may not be allowed. And yes, so what is also mandatory is a proper face covering, so masks have to be worn, and yes, there will be a screening at departure, and only asymptomatic passengers will be allowed to board the train. And this in a sense is just the beginning that we're talking about, and more trains are likely to be announced over a period, but yes, given the fact that you're only talking about the air-conditioned services, air-conditioned trains that will run from New Delhi to the 15 destinations that we just spoke of, we've been constantly speaking about how air conditioning could be a carrier for the virus itself. So it remains to be seen as to how that pans out, and when it comes to the number of passengers, of course that will be very limited. We've also seen in the case of Shramik trains as to how in a 6-seater coupe there's only about 3 people or 4 people that are allowed. So you will have only similar number of people traveling in a certain coupe. Coupe in the sense you have 6 berths, but eventually only 3 to 4 people will be allowed to take their seats, and not all 6 of them. This obviously is to ensure social distancing. So there is no word on how many passengers will be allowed in each train and how many passengers will be able to take their seats in each coupe. But looking at the way trains have been running, looking at the way, for example, even BMTC buses right here in the state, in the city, have been running with social distancing. Very few passengers that ply. So given all these important details, you will have the trains also on similar lines where you will not have the trains plying in full capacity, but with limited capacity. And yes, this is only the beginning. 15 trains and 30 return journeys altogether, and all of these services will begin from the New Delhi railway station. Back to you, Amrita.